Hello, my name is Zach Leasor, and I'm the State Climate Extension Specialist with the University of Missouri. As we're getting very close to the official start of meteorological summer on June 1st, today I wanted to go over the Missouri Summer Climate Outlook for 2024 and maybe what we can expect for the coming months ahead. Now, as a climatologist, even when making a prediction for the future, I actually like to start by looking back. So let's take a look at Missouri's 2024 year to date summary so far. And with the exception of a couple of cold weeks in January, the theme so far has been a warm year. And so what we've seen is the warmest February on record for Missouri, followed by a March and April with temperatures running 4 to 6 degrees above average. And we kept that trend going in May with another month with above average temperatures. And so currently our year to date temperatures are the sixth warmest on record going back to 1895 for Missouri. Now, our precipitation has been a little bit more variable. We started out with a very active January, then had our eighth driest statewide February on record, followed by a pretty dry start to March as well. And then we really flipped the switch and saw a very wet April, 15th wettest on April. And now our precipitation running total for the year so far is actually above average. And most of Missouri again received above average precipitation during May. So warm and wet so far to start 2024. What can we look towards ahead? So I'll start by showing the official monthly temperature outlook for June, and this is from NOAA's Climate Prediction Center. And if you are a visitor of the Garden Hour on Wednesdays, we usually show some of these outlooks, which kind of give us an idea of the extended range forecast of generally what we can expect with temperatures and precipitation. And so these maps will show some of those warm colors where warmer temperatures are expected. The blues show colder temperatures. And then similarly on the right, we see our greens where rain is in the forecast, and those drier conditions are depicted by the brown colors here. But what goes into one of these forecasts and how exactly do we interpret it? And so when we talk about long range forecasting beyond 7 to 10 days, it's very difficult. And so you won't see these forecasts that are predicting, for example, a temperature of 80 degrees. Instead, they just want to predict more generally what might happen or what the chances or probability suggest might happen. And so only predicting whether conditions will be above average with temperatures or rainfall, near average, or below average with temperatures and rainfall. And so, really, when they start with a blank slate forecast, there's a 33% chance of either of those categories occurring, as shown by the graphic here. But as forecasters really start to pull information, data, models, and other tools together, they get more confidence in various aspects of the forecast here. And so here we see in Missouri, we have a 33 to 40% chance of above average temperatures. And down in Texas, even more likely with 50 to 60% chance of above average temperatures. And so that's how we can interpret these forecasts from the Climate Prediction Center. Now, what's going into these seasonal forecasts? Our traditional numerical weather models that you might see with the 7 day forecast on TV, they really break down at 1 to 2 weeks and don't have a lot of use at longer timescales. So instead, we use other metrics such as the climatology. Believe it or not, the first best guess at a forecast is simply what we might expect on average. So June, July, August, obviously we're going to predict some warm temperatures during our summer months, but what we really want to know are how warm or cooler than normal from that climatology the forecast will be. And so we often then look at persistence or trends. And so this year we're having a warm 2024, and this might continue into the summer months as well. We also consider our land surface moisture. Our soils generally wet or dry around the state. Currently, we've got some wet conditions, and that might help to modulate some of our temperatures. And then we look at teleconnections, and these play a big role in the forecast. You might say, what are teleconnections? Well, they're linkages between weather changes occurring in widely separated regions of the globe. And so you might have heard of El Nino and La Nina, probably the largest single teleconnection we monitor for climate prediction. And this is really just the status of sea surface temperatures in the eastern Pacific Ocean alternating between warm and cold temperatures. And so currently, this is very important for our summer forecast because we're under an El Nino advisory with diminishing El Nino conditions. And as those sea surface temperatures in the Pacific get colder, we're under a La Nina watch. And officially, we're expecting a transition to El Nino to Enso neutral and then La Nina by June to August 2024 with a 49% chance of that occurring. And so because of that, we really have to monitor what are other years where we've seen this flip from El Nino to La Nina conditions, and what might that mean? And when we put all this information together, we can compile a seasonal forecast. And so I'll end here with the official seasonal outlook for June, July, August 2024 from the Climate Prediction Center. And I'll start on the left, and you see a lot of red on this map. We're seeing an overall forecast for warmer than average temperatures this summer across the United States. But fortunately, if we look at Missouri, we see really only a 33 to 40% chance of above average temperatures. So not much different from a closer to average forecast here. Additionally, when we look at our seasonal precipitation outlook, La Nina years in the U.S. during the summer, we typically see some dryness in the Great Plains or Western United States. And we'll be watching this area pretty closely. As you can see, Missouri is really caught in between a forecast of below average and wetter than average rainfall here. And really just a few hundred miles and where this pattern sets up could make a big difference. And so definitely a lot of uncertainty in our precipitation forecast, but I think it's safe to say our warm 2024 will continue into the summer. So hope everyone enjoyed this, and we'll see if our seasonal climate outlook comes true. Thank you.